Good morning and welcome to Bago News number 5. I'm Gavin Farmer and these are my co-anchors Jarek Littlegeorge and Jocelyn Colvin.
It's been a busy month since we last reported.
In top news, the Winnebago Indians basketball team qualified for state for the 4th consecutive year. Here's Keaton Contreras reporting.
Winnebago boys basketball team made their 4th consecutive trip to Lincoln for the boys state basketball tournament.
Game 1 was on Thursday, March 8th at 3:45 in Devaney Sports Center. The boys played well, easily edging out Syracuse 59-50. This victory would advance them to the semifinals. Semifinals were at Pinnacle Arena on Friday, March 9th at 10:45 a.m. The Indians stuck on Broken Bowl and continued to roll, beating them 69-55 to advance the C1 championship game to take on Wahoo. It was close from the beginning to the end, but the Wahoo Warriors edged out the Indians by a close 4-point game. The final score, Indians 66 and Warriors 70. The Indians proudly accepted their runner-up trophy and medals. 7 seniors said goodbye to high school basketball forever. Devon LaPointe, Maurice Scott, McCoon's Little Voice, Montepet Cleveland, Lance Denny, Caden Cleveland, and Barry Kennedy will be missed. Devon, Maurice, and Montepet all received recognition for high scoring, and Devon LaPointe named to the All-Star team for C1. Way to go, boys. You've made us all proud.
In other sports-related news, senior Darrell Zagurski became the first Winnebago student to qualify for the state wrestling tournament. Toby Thomas reporting with research and writing support by Deanna Harris.
February 15th, 2018, during 5th period, the whole high school gathered in the auditorium to witness Darrell Zagurski, the first ever Winnebago State qualifier. Wrestling in his first match of state, he pinned his opponent in the first round. Everyone in the auditorium cheered, got his first win, and made history. Second match ended with the same result. Darrell placed 6th due to an injury in semifinals. Darrell with a final record of 114 wins and 30 losses, 123 takedowns and 87 pins, wrapped up his senior year of wrestling. Darrell has accomplished so much in just 3 years of wrestling and will be remembered for a long time. Congrats, Darrell. We are very proud of you.
The speech team has been very busy this season. On March 1st, they attended an invitational in Homer when they came away with 2nd place. Victoria Thomas Horton and Delilah Flanders reported.
The Winnebago speech team has brought home some significant hardware from the Homer speech meet on March 1st. Everyone that competed has been in at least 1 or 2 events, and just about everyone had placed in the final results. Winnebago with just 230 points placed 2nd to Homer, while they placed 1st with 258 points.
Among the winners are Jacoby Mahone, Katiana Hansen, and Laura Neff for OID placed 3rd place. 2nd place in OID is Delilah Flanders, Aaliyah Frazier, and Victoria Thomas Horton. That placed 4th place was Alexandria Flanders, and informative speaking for 5th place was Jean Parker Morris. Entertainment speaking for 4th place was Jatana McClellan. Entertainment speaking for 2nd place was Rami Bird. Persuasive speaking for 3rd place was Delilah Flanders. Persuasive speaking for 2nd place was Kyla Stahart. Extemporaneous speaking for 1st place was Alexandria Flanders. Extemporaneous for 2nd place was Kylia Walker. Danny Wolf and Aaliyah Frazier. Duet acting for 3rd place. Jean Parker Morris and Kylia Walker did duet acting for 4th place. Danny Wolf did serious prose for 4th place, and Gabriella Aldridge did serious prose for 5th place. Rami Bird did poetry for 9th place, and Elijah Frazier did poetry for 10th place. Humorous prose for 6th place, and Jacoby Mahone did humorous prose for 7th place.
7 seniors will be finishing their high school competitive speaking career this year. We caught up with 5 of them. Here's what they had to say about their experience.
Hi, I'm Rami Bird. I've been on the speech team for 4 years. This is my last year. Yeah.
My name is Laura Neff, and I've also been on the speech team for 4 years.
My name is Alexandria Flanders, and I've been on the team for 3 years.
Katiana Hansen, and I've also been on the team for 4 years.
And you're the captain.
Oh, and I'm captain.
Gabby.
My name is Gabriella Aldridge, and I've been on the speech team for like 3 years.
Okay. All right, this is for all of you. Anybody that wants to chime in can. What is your best speech memory?
I'll take this one. Okay, so last year we had a meet. I think it was conference of districts. I'm not sure.
But after the meet, we all went out and had a big meal, just like a big family. It was a really nice day.
Oh yeah, that's when my head looked like the sun.
So do you get the sense that the team is kind of like one big family?
It is actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are some of the benefits of being in speech?
Being in speech will help you gain your confidence in speaking in front of strangers and family members. Not family members, but people that you are well known with. And it's a really good benefit to have on your resume, because then that'll make you feel more, or look more professional and cool.
And I've had the opportunity to watch that because I'm confident enough, but these 3 and 4 weren't. And now it's their senior year and they're making friends on their own. And
I think it's pretty good when you have like speech impediments and like you're afraid to like talk, like stage fright and all that. It kind of makes you like get out of your low comfort zone.
What are some of the challenges that you think, you know, the hardest part of being in competitive speaking?
It depends on which event you are in, because others are based on memorization, others are persuading people to go through one topic that you're presenting, and others you're informing others. And so you have to have a clear mind and be able to speak clearly and other people understand you, and memorize your speech, because there's a whole bunch of different types of speeches that others like enjoy. And
so basically just pick what you're comfortable with, and you shouldn't have that many problems. Something you know really well.
Okay, so what are some of the events you've done, and what have been your favorite events?
OID is my all-time fave. I just love doing like plays or like with a group. Can't really like look at each other, touch each other, but it's still really fun to do, and it's less nerve-wracking than others since you have other people out there with you.
I really like humorous prose, because it's all uplifting and funny, and you make the audience laugh, which is a great plus. And even if you do mess up, it's like you can play it off and just be crazy and funny.
Throughout the years, I've done extemp, informative, and serious prose. And so far, probably my favorite one is informative, because I could choose any topic I want, and it could be more of the things that I like and not anybody else.
My favorite is persuasion. I like persuading people.
I like duet, like I've been in it, but I like serious prose since I could just, it's not that much people in it that much.
All right, so your advice to incoming freshmen or other school members that haven't maybe tried this, what do you say to them?
Practice every day.
I mean, what do you say to them about just getting them to even consider?
That there's food.
Yeah,
there's good food. Shoot. Once you're in, you're in. But she feeds you with food. And why not? It's fun.
Try something new.
Try something new. Yeah.
All right. So this is the outgoing seniors of 2018. They've been on the team for a long time. They're going to be very much missed. And let's get everybody to, keep up their legacy.
Hi.
Got it.
All right. In the past 2 months, Elon Musk has made an out of this world breakthrough. Here's Gavin Farmer reporting.
Many have heard the name Elon Musk, mostly because of his successful aerospace company, SpaceX, although not many know the story of how Elon Musk came to be. Musk was born in South Africa, and at 17, against his parents' will, he left for North America. He began his life in North America and Canada, and also started school there. After a few years, he transferred to the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned degrees in physics and business. He then planned on earning his PhD in California, but ended up deferring and co-created a few companies in a couple different areas. 2 of those companies are PayPal and Zip2. Then in 2002, Elon founded SpaceX. SpaceX is a company designed for developing a market for taking satellites and people to orbit and beyond. According to Musk, he has already created several successful rockets, successful meaning they fulfilled their purpose, and plans on creating more. His already successful rockets are the Falcon 1, Falcon 9, and Falcon Heavy. The Falcon 9 has several different models, making slight yet significant changes every new model. His most recent rocket, the Falcon Heavy, was launched on February 6th of 2018. It was a large success. After helping the rocket reach supersonic speed, the two side thrusters separated from the core rocket and rerouted back to Earth to land nicely for reuse. Then, after a while, the core thruster did the same, or at least attempted. The core rocket was meant to land on a drone ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, but instead it crumpled upon impact with the Atlantic at about 300 miles an hour. The purpose of the launch was just to test the rocket, but Elon decided to also send his personal cherry red Tesla into space on course for a Mars orbit with a passenger, Starman, the spacesuited mannequin. It's going to be a long journey for Starman, but at least he can listen to David Bowie the whole ride there. Elon put Life on Mars by David Bowie on loop in the car, although he's in space, so he probably won't be hearing the song anytime soon. And he's a mannequin. In the future, Musk plans to create a new rocket named BFR. After research, it seems Elon meant for the acronym to mean Big Effing Rocket, although a more family-friendly term has been created, which is in more relation to previous rockets, Big Falcon Rocket. The rocket is planned to replace the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy models. This rocket is kind of based off a larger interplanetary transport system. It is said to be able to take humans to different planets and carry large payloads either into space or to other planets. Elon Musk and his company are completing some of the best, most advanced work so far in human history. They may just take humans to Mars within the next 50 years. Let's hope for the best. In other news, the nation is reeling again after another school shooting. On February 14th, the day of Parkland shooting, there were 18 reported cases of school gun violence in the nation. To end this senseless violence, a nationwide movement began by teens and young adults called Never Again. It is aimed at legislators and lobbyist groups like the NRA. Their message is clear: enough. Here's Kiana Lewis with more.
The Never Again movement is led by students that survived the shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School. Many students are showing grief in different ways. They have lost close friends, classmates, and siblings. There was one student who said, "I'm never going to stop talking about this. I'm not going to let people forget the 17 who lost their lives." Cameron Caskey, the student who started the Never Again movement, said, "Well, if you had seen me in our school's production, you would know that nobody would pay me to act for anything." Cameron Caskey and David Hogg are going to travel to Tallahassee, New York, and Washington, D.C. to begin preparations for the March for Our Lives. Never Again is a policy goal for stricter background checks for gun buyers and a plan for a nationwide protest on March 24th. Also had a panel of students who are letting America know that the shooting was not an accident.
March 14th was the 1-month anniversary of the Parkland massacre. Students in schools across the nation planned 17-minute walkouts at 10 a.m. to honor the lives lost, to send a message to lobbyists, legislators, and the NRA. In Winnebago, we honored lives lost in another way. Students who chose to participate gathered in the Fine Arts Auditorium, where they prayed and discussed the issues of school violence and bullying.
I just wanted to thank everyone for coming, and I just wanted to say that bullying is alive and well in our school. We wanted to bring awareness to that issue. People have disagreements and disputes and want to hurt people and be violent, and it needs to stop. All the hate and all the hurt. Stand up for people instead of tearing them down. I believe that we can come together to make our school safe.
After that, students went outside, set flight to 17 balloons in memory of the 17 lives lost.
The recent gun violence has people wondering, what can we do to prevent this type of tragedy, especially in schools where students and staff should be safe? In an open discussion, Donald Trump met with school shooting survivors and their families on camera. He vowed to take action and proposed that one solution be to arm school staff. Bago News is beginning a new segment calling Opposing Views. The topic for our first debate is arming school staff a good idea? Here's Mrs. Bross moderating the debate between our very own anchors, Jarek Little George and Gavin Farmer.
Our first topic will be, is it a good idea for schools to give faculty and staff conceal and carry permits and arm teachers, faculty, and other staff members? Today's debaters are Jarek Littlegeorge and Gavin Farmer. Jarek will be arguing the affirmative and Gavin will be arguing the negative.
This could be a viable solution to our school security concerns. First, our banks, our airports, our NFL games, our NBA games. Once we got our movie stars, our politicians, they're all more protected than our children at school. We surround and protect so much with armed security while we drop our kids off at school in these so-called safe zones. Evil walks among us, alright? And God help us if we don't harden our schools to protect our children. I understand why people don't like armed teachers idea, but if I'm a teacher and I have a reason to believe the cops won't intervene in school, I might want to be armed. I mean, look at it this way. There was an armed guard and a police in Parkland, and they failed to enter the building. This is something that we have to get on. So we can look back on something. Sandy Hook, the teacher, Victoria Soto, who was shot and killed after hiding her kids in the closet and told the gunman the kids were in the gym. Might still be alive had she been armed and able to defend herself. So, could a lot of other children and teachers who tragically died that day? Simply calling 911 and waiting is no longer an option. It's going to go one of two ways. Either being injured or death. And I think that we need to give our teachers the guns to have a fighting chance against the school shooter.
So I'm confused. When the person with the AR-15 comes down the hall firing dozens of rounds in seconds, is the teacher armed with a handgun supposed to open the classroom door and expose the children to rapid gunfire while they try to shoot the person spraying them with bullets? And do you think the children's screams would distract them from getting a good shot? Or are they supposed to hide the children in closets and cabinets before opening the door to the guy with the semi-automatic weapon? Are they wearing the handguns all day, every day? Is it loaded? Or is it concealed under their clothes or something? Or is it on a holster on their waist? Could a child with impulse control issues grab the loaded gun from them and use it against them or the other students? And when they are holding and aiming a loaded weapon and the police respond to a 911 call, how will they know that they're a good guy with a gun and not a bad guy with a gun? How will they know not to mistake her for a shooter and shoot her? If you're looking for something fun to do this weekend and want to see a movie, The Black Panther may be a good choice. Here's T. Tom Contreras, Joe Decora, and Jeremy Vera with Entertainment News.
What's up, John Teton here, coming at you with the must-see movie of the month.
The hottest movie out right now of this month is Black Panther. You all should go see it. Michael B. Jordan killed it. It's honestly the greatest Marvel movie I've seen all year.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've seen aliens drop from the sky. Yeah. But I have never seen anything like this. How much more are you hiding?
Hold up. Let's go. We are home. My son, it is your time. Show me my respect and bow down. You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
The revolution will not be televised.
Speaking of Marvel, check out Deadpool 2 and Avengers Infinity War coming in May. I also suggest watching out for Tomb Raider. It just came out.
The entire time I knew him, he only ever had one goal. To wipe out half the universe. If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
We got one advantage. He's coming to us. We have what Thanos wants, so that's what we use.
Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Wow.
When I'm done, half of humanity will still exist. Perfectly balanced. As all things should be. I hope they remember you.
What's your name?
Laura.
Surname?
Croft. Laura, your father's gone. You can pick up where he left off. I see so much of him in you. Brilliant.
Hello, Sprout. If you're listening to this, then I must be dead. I found something. A tomb called the Mother of Death. If Trinity succeeds, our world is in danger. Promise me you will stop them.
I promise.
You shouldn't have come here. But I'm glad that you did. It's now in your hands.
This past weekend, many of you probably threw on a green shirt and celebrated St. Patrick's Day with some green Kool-Aid or some corned beef and cabbage. But why do we celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Here's Victoria Thomas Horton to explain.
St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, started back in 1631 Ireland, with a feast celebrating St. Patrick. He was said to have extreme luck in converting the Druid culture into Christians. This is where we get the idea for luck on this day. It wasn't until the 18th century when the first St. Patrick's Day traditions took hold. Wearing green didn't become a part of the tradition until 1798, when the Irish Rebellion. The Irish wore green and it became the holiday's color due to its relevance to Irish history. The wearing green is taken so seriously that those who don't may get pinched. Today we celebrate St. Patrick's Day as a day of luck. Around the nation, people celebrate in a number of different ways. Many cities hold annual St. Patrick's Day parades, while those of age may indulge in green beer. Still others dress up and act silly. Whatever the tradition, on March 17th, people from all cultures get to share their inner leprechaun and travel only and momentarily to the land of green hills and ancient castles. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
When thinking about St. Patrick's Day, it's hard not to think of the land of green rolling hills, the Blarney Stone, and the ancient castles tucked away among the mountains. Here's Jeremy Baer with Where in the World?
In this St. Paddy's Day themed episode, Where in the World features the home of the Irish as we travel to the country of Ireland. I'm standing here looking over the cliffs of Moher, which is the #1 place to visit in Ireland. The climate in Ireland is moist, abundant rainfall, and lack of temperature extremes. Ireland also stays mostly around 50 degrees to 60, and the climate is heavily affected by the ocean. Things to eat in Ireland is Irish stew, soda bread, lamb and mutton, smoked salmon, and oysters.
If you're looking for a sweet treat with the St. Paddy's Day flair, here's Daniel's Diner to the rescue.
What are they cooking up now? What's cooking?
It's almost St. Patrick's Day here at Daniel's Diner. Today we are going to make cupcakes with a St. Patrick's theme. We like to call these lucky cakes. We start by making cupcakes from a super moist yellow cake mix. After you're making the cupcakes, you can start decorating them after they cool off. So you just take a knife and cut out the middle. And then take it out, and then yeah, and then just take some Lucky Charm things and put them in the inside, and then and take this thing and just put it back on top. Well, after you're done putting the Lucky Charms inside the cupcakes, you can take some green frosting and then just frost the cupcake however you want. And then take some of the sprinkles from the thing and just put some on top. And then there you go. And there you have it. A sweet treat for St. Patrick's Day that you can share with your friends and family. This is Danny and Jocelyn from Danny's Diner, and the Coons and the Ryan, they're gonna taste the cupcakes.
It's an exciting time of the year for college basketball fans, March Madness. Today we're just going around asking people who they have winning it all.
All right. Well, I actually took Arizona to win it all, and they got rolled last night by 20 to Buffalo, so I'm out. Done for the year.
I got Kansas winning it all.
Hotes.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Alright, we're here with Mackling, and who do you got?
I have Villanova.
Ooh, sick. Me too. Me too. What up? Alright, who you got taking March Madness this year?
North Carolina.
Ooh, tell me who you got winning the whole thing for March Madness.
Michigan, baby.
Hotes.
Michigan Wolverines all the way.
Hotes.
Michigan or Michigan State to win for the Big Ten, but it's probably going to be Villanova.
Some of the brackets are already busted with all the upsets so far. See us next time to see how the madness ends.
That's all, folks.
Thanks for watching.
Join us next month for Bago News number 6.